Taking the picture with the captain.
You give me a shark, I'll give you $1 million.
I will die on a hill. I know we might zero. I want a big fish.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Captain's Report. Captain Robert, Fish Finder, Fishing Charter. Today, my co-host is Captain Caleb on the fly. We got the infamous or famous Captain Jason Burton from Fishzilla, MIFC in the house, and the legendary Captain Jack himself, Black Diamond. We got some cool topics today. Let's get them rolling.
Welcome to the Captain's Report, where the fish are big, the stories are bigger, and nothing is off limits. We're talking wild fishing tales, charter chaos, and the unfiltered side of the industry, straight from the captains who've seen it all. So grab a beer, hold your rods, and tighten those drags, because this ain't your granddaddy's fishing report.
So I think we need to discuss pros and cons to inexperienced clients versus experienced clients. As far as people that have fished once or twice in their life, and then in some clients we have that fish, I'm not going to say as much as we do, but you know, your avid fishermen, the guys that know what's going on. And I somebody else can start it, but I have a great example because it happened to me today.
Well, you got to add a third category in there. Those that think they're experienced.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yes, those that think they're experienced, but just client diversity, people that think they know something or people that don't know. And because I saw it firsthand today, I had some very inexperienced clients, but they were very honest about it up front.
But they're like a breath of fresh air.
It was nice. It was nice because they followed instructions. Which
I had the same ones this morning. It's like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, looking at new people, especially when they're very open-minded, they're very moldable, and your expectations go down, and your abilities to teach shine. Because I mean, a lot of us, as captains, as guides, 90% of what we're doing is trying to teach someone how to do something like us and have fun doing it.
Yes. Yeah. So I think there's pros and cons to both your inexperienced clients and your experienced clients because both can go either directions. I think that's something we need to talk about.
All right, I'll start this.
All right, what do you got?
I'll give you a prime example. So I used to run a boat called the Fly Girl. That was like my charter boat for like years. And I used to joke that if, a husband and wife came on the boat, the guy stood no chance. So I'll tell you a brief story.
It's very true.
That you will enjoy. Husband and wife.
Now, hold on. Is Fly Girl's an inshore boat?
Fly Girl is an inshore boat, so we're targeting redfish, trout, flounder. Yeah. That's it. We're not chasing things in the ocean. We're not trying to catch king mackerel, cobia.
Right.
Guy calls me and he's like, "Hey man, me and my wife want to go fishing. I am a seasoned veteran, and my wife has never done this before. If you can cater to her, that'll be possible."
Yep.
Perfect. We get on the boat. I go through my instructions. And he's that guy. And I'm like, okay, you want to cast in this area.
Yeah.
Catch the fish. And he's like, oh, but this other side looks good. And I'm like, okay, cool. I tell you what you do. You've obviously very experienced. I'm going to let you do your thing, and I will work with your wife because you already told me she's never fished with you, very inexperienced, blah, blah, blah. What do you think happens? Homegirl opens up a can that has never been seen before.
They do it all the time on my boat.
But this is how it goes.
The lady luck is incredible.
Dude. Well, see, I don't necessarily think it's lady luck. Going back to the experience versus inexperience,
but
we talk about 90% of the time the guy has fished, and the woman hasn't. A woman hasn't, and the woman will listen. The woman will take some of your advice and just go with it. And that's the husband-wife dynamic that is you have experienced and inexperienced together.
Correct.
And it's always 9-1.
She rolled into town and said, "Show me what to do." The guy rolled into town and was like, "I know more than you do."
Yep.
So long story short, homegirl comes over to me and is like, "Hey, help me." I show her what to do.
Yeah.
The guy's like, "Oh, I'm going to do this." She catches a fish. Guess how this goes? First fish, he's ecstatic. "Oh, my God, I'm so happy for you. This is amazing. Yep. This is what I hoped." He's high-fiving me. Second fish,
Great job.
There's still a high five, but there's a monotone
the
voice.
Enthusiasm starts going
Monotone
down just a
voice.
little
He's
bit.
like, oh my God. Like, I've been trying to help my wife. Every time we go fishing, she never catches anything. The fact she caught fish, he's taking pictures. Third fish? He's like, oh, that's awesome. You might want to hurry up and take that off and get back in the water because obviously they're feeding. Fourth and fifth fish, he's silent. He's like, great job.
Yep.
On about the sixth fish.
envy. So what do you think is worse? Do you think it's worse the fact that she's out fishing him and he'll never not hear the end of that? Or
Have faith in the bacon.
Faith in bacon.
You'll have to check out one of our other episodes about the bacon.
I think he generally wanted his wife to catch fish, but after she caught a couple, then it became like competition. He's like,
to that point.
yeah, I'm the guy.
Oh, the testosterone kicked in.
Yeah, I've got 17 rods in the garage. You don't even know how to cast, and then it becomes defensive. And he's like, dude, I'm so happy my wife caught a fish. Dude, about a fifth fish, he was like, hey, why don't you take a break? Why don't you just,
go grab a drink, hang out.
Dude, I got some pictures. Why don't you post on social media? And then he's coming up with excuses. He's like, dude, I'm so happy you put my wife on fish. Like, I'm going to get her to chill out, just me and you. And then homeboy doesn't catch fish.
Still, won't listen.
We're like an hour and a half into the trip. He's caught nothing. She's got 5. The next fish she catches, he literally loses it. I was like, look, man, you know how it is. I mean, we're all married. But I'm like, are you serious? Like, he literally looks at me and goes, look, my wife's caught enough fish. Like, she needs to just do her thing. She don't fish. Like, I mean, and he's coming up with all these excuses. He's defensive. Dude, by the end of the trip, homegirls have caught like 8 or 9 fish. He's caught like 3. He's not talking. He's angry. Yeah. He is not. And she's like, oh, honey, we've had the best day ever. And he's like, shut up.
But
yeah, we talked a little bit about this. Like,
we did.
The think that they're experienced or, those that experience just either muscle memory, even if like you've been bass fishing all your life. What, of course, everybody we get on the boat that flounder fishes, the first thing we got to break them of is just absolutely the first little tap they feel.
The bill dance.
Is the bill dance, the rocking it back. Okay, yeah, the first 5 or 6 times we get it, it's muscle memory, but just listen. If we tell you, just let it sit, let it hang out.
Oh, and that's all it was.
Yeah.
He was casting out there. I mean, if the wind blew, he set the hook.
Oh, man.
He was ready to hurt anything that bit his bait.
Every oyster shell.
Yeah. and every fish he caught, the hook or jig was in the back of his throat. Jeez. So that fish had been on there for 5 minutes, and she's like, oh, I've got it. Yeah. Meanwhile, he's setting the hook so hard he sits down every time. He's like, and it's just like, dude. And then you try to work with him.
Yeah.
And then when you try to compensate for the guy, it immediately goes wrong. I'm like, look, try this, I've been doing this my whole life.
Oh, yeah.
You don't need to show me, just work with the wife. And I'm like, dude, I'm not going to be mean, but like, it's 3.5 hours into a 4-hour trip. Like, she's beat you every which way but loose. You should probably try what she's trying and not what you're trying. And it's just like, it never, ever goes well.
Yeah. The point you're getting at is she followed instructions. And that's what happened to me today. I had a dad and 2 of his son and daughter, but they were pretty much adults. But all of them very inexperienced, and he told me that out the gate. Hey, we don't fish. And I said, that's not a problem at all. But I'm going to challenge you with some things, like you need to follow instructions. It's okay if you don't fish. I can help you with that. But if you follow instructions, you'll be able to catch fish, and you'll become a fisherwoman.
Yep.
And they did. And it actually worked out better than if I probably had people who fished. Because a lot of times we get very fishy people. But the style of fishing that we do is you're trying to break 30, 40, 50-year habits in 4 hours.
That or just plain stubbornness.
Or yes, yeah.
It's hard for them to understand that everywhere you go, geographic-wise, It's a little different technique.
Fish are different. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And I told them, that they were very inexperienced, but we got casting down. And they all could cast 15, 20 feet in a direction that I told them. And I was like, all right, that's great. That's great.
Huge.
That's all we need.
You're at first base.
That's all we need. And then they'd feel the bite and they'd say, hey, Captain, I got a bite. What do I do? And I was like, you're doing great right now because you hadn't yanked. Drop your rod down. Let them take it. Give them some line. Give them time.
Yep,
and
the
rest of the day was
going to the third
spot on.
And then they pull back nice and easy and lay in, and here comes the flounder.
We had a few hiccups. Couple excited bites, and
how many hiccups
yank,
do we have? Just being the professionals. I mean, we'll miss a fish left and right.
Absolutely.
And that's something else too. That especially when we have newer people, that I have to try to let them know is like, hey, we're not going to catch every fish that bites.
Yeah.
Or a fish is going to get off at the top or whatever. It's all right. Bait back up. Let's go back down.
Yeah.
Come on. And those that are willing to not get frustrated and just throw the rod down and I've been fishing for so long. I should have had that fish in the boat. Yeah. Put another bait on, fire it down.
Yeah.
Listen to what I'm saying. Let's go get another one.
But to Caleb's point, I mean, it's all about reading your clients.
Yeah. That's reading. The clients.
It's one of those things. Like if you have a 4-top and it's all guys.
Yeah.
And you get on there and 3 out of the 4 are just blasting this random guy. Okay, he's the punchline.
Yeah, lean into him.
You let him lose a fish, and you just join the crowd, and all of a sudden
he won't miss a fish.
He crowd favorite. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like if you get on the boat, I use football as an analogy. If 3 guys get on the boat and they all have Dallas Cowboys gear on, and there's another guy, you're just like, oh.
He's the oddball.
You're the oddball out,
Yeah.
And then you just wait. And when they start pounding him, you just kind of take a little quick shot, you could have got that one. You missed him. And then they're like, oh, and it's just those simple things that are just
that's funny.
You're just having fun.
So
reading people.
I would much rather have the people that come on and say, look, Cap, we've done a little fishing.
Yeah.
But please,
moldable.
Yeah.
Show us how.
Yeah.
Those are the ones we want.
Treat us like we don't know anything. Because a blank chalkboard is easier to write on than having to
100%.
erase one.
Yeah. And it's tricky because there is, if we're going to play devil's advocate here, there are times when you have very experienced fishermen. And if you can line it up with the very experienced fishermen that also follow your instructions, those are some banner days.
Well, yeah,
but it's tough.
You're hitting on a person there that, and I think you mentioned fishy person. There's a lot of fishy people out there, and I think one of the reasons that makes them fishy is because they listen. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they picked up a couple things like repeat customers that you have that know how to flounder fish that are a little bit fishy. They come with you. Well, guess what? You're the one who taught them.
Yeah.
Or they listened at some point. But yeah.
So here's a question for you, Captain Caleb. Would you rather have a party of 4, extremely experienced, fishy, and we're going to do their own thing, and their success was based on their experience, or would you rather have a 4-top that is inexperienced, but they're willing to learn, and you can give them something that they've never had before?
I think right out the gate, instinct says I'm going to lean towards the inexperienced people, because chances are they haven't had that rush, that joy. Hey, we're catching fish. When the experienced people are like, all right, we just caught 15 flounder out of this hole, but none are keepers.
Correct.
When the others like, hey, this is a new.
And that
this is a new thing for me.
To I love the kids and the families.
Yeah.
Send me every kids and the families, because 90% of them are going to be new, open-minded, moldable, and then that experience level is low, so that when you do hit these experiences, it's just over top.
Yeah.
I have clients that come with me year after year after year, and I've taught them everything I know. What else can we do? And we're just searching for PBs, and that's way
tough.
more stressful.
It's tough. It's
way
tough.
more stressful.
But we're going to keep poking this same bear. I've got a handful of great clients that have come with me 10 years, and they know how fishing is. And if you time that right with that right experienced client, and you have a day where you're catching consistent big fish, then that's the icing on the cake. But that's such a hard thing to do.
Having them to show up on that perfect time is so hard for us.
Right.
Yep.
So to answer Jason's question, initially I'm going to say I'd rather have 4 inexperienced people with lower expectations. You catch a couple fish, their day's made. Because at that point, anything else, a stingray, a bluefish, they're like, oh, new species. Mm-hmm. Which to us at times we write off because we're like, get it off the line.
Yeah,
but it's something new to them.
Always have to come back and reassure myself, like, every charter is new for them.
Right.
And so let it be new for me. Oh, man, check out this bluefish you guys caught. This is a big one.
Yep.
I haven't seen one like this in forever.
Yep.
And that just brightens their day, like you said. So, yeah, absolutely. I'm on the same path. Inexperienced over experienced.
Yeah. And this could be a whole other topic, but we've touched on it before. Don't downplay a fish.
No.
With your inexperienced
100%.
clients, it could be a pinfish. A toadfish made our day today.
Oh.
Because they were like, what is that? And I'm like, it's an alien.
I'll be
You've
the first
caught
one
an
to
alien.
tell you, and Jack's probably got me trumped, but I mean, I'm 20 years in this.
Yeah.
It took me 5 years, solid 5 years before I stopped letting their expectations win versus mine. Mm-hmm. And it was one of those things, like, think about it. You're a family of 4, husband, wife, 2 kids. You're from Ohio. Your greatest experience in life is you've caught largemouth bass, brim, walleye.
Yeah, but you never. And then what's cool
when you have
too
a live
is
report,
we take
it for granted. So like, we go out there, and I'll give you a prime example. I don't want to bore y'all with stories, but like, I used to run offshore charters, and I will never forget this. And I've told this story 100 times. We go out to a predominant spot. 13 miles out. Mm-hmm. This spot has king mackerel, occasionally has cobia, has sailfish. This is the day that changed my life in charter fishing because I was like young, egotistical. I'm like, I want the biggest, the baddest. I want extreme. I'm the guy, We go out there, we catch limited king mackerel, 35-pound cobia, miss a sailfish. We catch 1 3.5-foot shark.
Made their day.
We come back to the dock.
And
the guy's like,
the 3.5-foot shark.
Yeah. The guy jumps on the phone. He's like, dude,
we caught a shark.
You will never believe the day we had.
Yeah. Yep.
We caught a shark. And I'm sitting there and I'm just like, I'm too young and inexperienced to understand.
Right.
Yeah.
And I look at the guy and I shouldn't have said it. And I said, dude, we caught 3 fish that people would kill for.
Yeah.
And all you care about is the shark.
It's the shark.
And he looked at me with the eyes and he goes, dude, when I tell people back home we caught a shark, they don't care about your king mackerel, your cobia, your sailfish. And I'm young, inexperienced. And I got upset with the guy. And I was like, dude, we did everything we could to put you in world-class fish. If I'd have known you would have wanted sharks, I'd have sat at the tip of the jetties and fished with dead bluefish.
Yeah.
And we would have had your day. And he looked me dead in the eyes and goes, I'm used to catching bass, brim, and catfish.
Yeah.
You give me a shark, I'll give you $1 million.
Yep.
And we shook hands. Hey, nice day. Boom, boom, boom. He walks away, and I'm just like, I'm mad.
You tried too hard.
And I'm mad. I'm mad because I'm like,
they don't get it.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? Do I not care? Like, I'm new to this. Like, I want to, like, every day, like, I want to make Sports Center. I want to be, like, the guy.
Yeah, no.
And here I am catching all these world-class fish. They don't give a damn.
Yeah.
All they cared about was they had a shark, and they caught something that they had seen on TV. And I went home, kind of reevaluated things. And I said, all right, going forward.
Talking about that, going as far as, like, you're always top. So, and this kind of puts things in perspective for me, or did for me, coming from the lineage that I come from and hearing all these stories of all these big fish that don't exist anymore, that I'll never be able to catch. It kind of put it in a little bit different perspective for me. It's like, you know what? Like, it doesn't really matter how hard I hammer or how good I am at catching or getting this fish or that fish or whatever. You know, the smiles and the laughs and stuff. Like maybe I was fortunate enough to throw that out early when I was younger.
Yeah.
I was just like, throw that to the winds.
Can I say one thing to you?
What's that?
I'm not going to get sentimental on you, but I'm going to try to relate this. You don't know how many times that I've thought about it and wished that you could have the opportunity
see the fish
to
that they caught in the
see what
80s and stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
thousands and thousands of pounds of grouper and stuff. So I'm sitting here thinking to myself, you know, these people, you know, oh yeah, but I'd love to have a 60, 80 pound freight train or whatever. You know, you go out and catch this one grouper, like, hey, that's a keeper grouper. They've never caught a grouper before. I'm just as happy that one grouper, that one flounder. Yeah, I learned that one pretty early. Just having.
I was lucky to grow up in a day that it was on like that.
And I don't have the horseshoe sometimes, so I'm like, you know what? I play my cards the best.
Yeah.
I'm an entertainer. Let's play up every fish like we just talked about. Play every fish up. How many pinfish did you catch today? 100. I've never caught that many fish in one afternoon.
I wish you could have seen the day that we got back to the dock. That I was on one boat and he was on the other boat.
The day I finally took the horseshoe.
He had me by 3 or 4 grouper. His feet was barely touching the dock.
It's all perspective.
And all I could do was smile. And
So experience versus inexperience.
Yeah.
Taking the reins.
Well, it's fair to say that I'll be honest, I don't have the experience you have. You got me in age.
Wow.
But I will tell you this, like, trying to relay my world 15 years ago to a new captain, they're just like...
Yeah, it's tough.
But it's one of those things, like, I said the same thing, and I train, you know, a lot of captains. No matter what, I will go down in history.
Yeah.
I've trained a lot of captains, and I've told them all, the sooner that you realize that there's only one battle, you're not beating the other captains, you're not beating the guy beside you, you have one battle that's on your boat.
Beating the customer's expectation.
If your customers step on the boat and they say, look, my lifelong goal is to catch 7 bluefish and a stingray,
You go do it.
you achieve that goal,
That's it.
and I'm not picking on you. I'm not picking. Caleb is a whacker.
Whacking
Caleb has, I can't tell you how many times I've been to the dock and he's got the table lined and my charter just looks at me and goes, should have booked him.
Okay,
It's funny.
The good thing is they don't. So
But
they're
you know
staying
what I
with
mean?
you.
But you know what I mean? Like, and it's one of those things, I've trained people for years. I'm like, when those people step on the boat, that battle is inside the rails, in those gunnels, because all you really want to do is meet their expectations, make them happy, and get them to come back.
Yep.
That makes me feel good because that's what I've tried to bestow on these guys is try to understand that the day your charter gets on the boat, that's their one day.
That's their day.
And, you know, you can't control whether the fish are going to bite or not going to bite.
And that's what I was thinking.
But
Is
if
that
you can,
circles back
if they
around
get off
to,
the boat happy,
that circles back around to, would you rather have inexperienced or experienced? And definitely, I will take the inexperienced,
Correct.
where you can meet those expectations and make them happy.
But I will challenge you on this, and I'm not playing devil's advocate. I love the inexperience. I love the low expectations. But there's something to be said when you get a seasoned vet on the boat and he's like, look, here is what I want. And if your experience and your time on the water gets him what he wants, that reward.
That is a pretty
Those
huge
are
reward
days
too.
those are days that we sit here and talk about 10 years later.
Exactly. And it does put you, it's like the difference between playing chess and checkers.
Correct.
You know, and that makes you feel good about yourself, but it can also make you feel pretty miserable too.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of times it's uncontrollable, but usually with those, you know when to tell them to come and that kind of stuff. But,
Yeah. I mean, it's like, I just had a call yesterday.
Yeah.
Guy's like, man, I've been with you 7 times. He goes, every time we've had the best time ever. He's like, next trip I come, 4 hours, I only want to target cobia. When should I come? And I'm like, pfft. I don't know. I mean, we used to have cobia fishing 5 years ago.
spin the roulette wheel and see where it lands.
5 years ago, we were making pinwheels out of
Yep.
cobia, or no, maybe not even 5, maybe 7. And it's like, you want to come with me? You want to spend this type of money? and that's your expectations. I'll give you everything I got, but like you were talking about going in the woods, putting a rifle
and shooting a unicorn,
and you're only gonna fire the gun if you see a 10-point or higher.
Yeah.
Like really? Like
Can
I do it? Fully confident I can. Expectations? Probably not gonna. We're probably set up for failure.
But it is
You gotta give it a
nice.
try.
It is nice to have some experienced people to come on.
Yeah.
And they tell you, we would like to get this, but we understand fishing.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
another one
And,
too. I didn't really
you
think
know,
about is the right experienced people understand
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That a fishing day is a variable. There's a lot of variables, and you may not have, the fishiest of days.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
but I'll be the first one to tell you, as a person that's done this a long time, you need that periodic poke, that periodic
to
challenge.
keep you going.
If we just took out inexperienced people all the time,
Yep.
we would be the hero. We'd be like Babe Ruth or like Michael Jordan. But when you get the guy that's like been there, done that, like I chartered you for a reason, like we're looking for PBs,
Yeah.
and you achieve that feeling internally does beat the inexperienced fisherman.
So we're talking about experienced versus inexperienced clients, and I had this is I guess kind of a con. I had a very experienced group, and they had fished with me for years and knew, hey, if you go to this spot, we're going to catch flounder. But the guy specifically said, look, I want leaderboard flounder. I will die on a hill. I know we might zero. I want a big fish. I want a big flounder. I want 24 plus inch fish.
The man. You want to take the board.
Yes. And I said, well, look, we've got the tide for it. Like this is, I never can guarantee a fish, but conditions are right. We get set up. I had the right baits. I had spent extra time catching the right baits, a tank full of pretty mullet.
Oh, nice.
We get the spread out. They know what to do. There's 3 guys, all 3 by this point. I don't have to
You just got to
coach.
get them there and set them up.
I don't have to coach them. They know what to do when they feel the bite. They know how to let the fish eat, et cetera, et cetera. We get set up. The prime window is happening. And 0 bites, which they knew. We're gambling. Just be patient. So as they are manning the lines in the front of the boat, I am just casually flipping an artificial bait off the back of the boat. Just kind of passing time. I didn't need to coach them. I didn't need to hold their hand. I catch a 26-inch flounder.
Take the board.
And he bit beside the boat. So it wasn't like I had time to be like, oh, hey, man, this fish is on. Here's, catch this fish. He bit at my feet. I had to set the hook. And I caught the fish they were after.
Well, how did he feel about it though?
It was mixed emotions.
Was it?
And it was
Oh,
tough.
man.
It was tough for me because it was one of the biggest flounder I've personally caught. And at the same time, I've never hated a big fish more because I was like, why could you not just go bite?
Free spool?
Free spool.
Free spool.
Go.
Yeah. Let it be. Oh, man. Here, I think
But
there's
I-
something on
I
this
think I'm
one.
getting a bite.
I need to teach Caleb
yeah.
my magical trick.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
this was, I had them with live baits. I'm throwing artificial. He bites at my feet. I can't not set the hook.
Man, that was tough.
Yeah, but
And that fish, which I've noticed a lot of times, those big flounder do one of 2 things. Either they fight like a redfish, or they come to the top, don't know they're hooked, and you net them. And this fish I set the hook and I
was there.
put some tension,
Caleb,
and he was
do you want me to
beside the
give-
boat.
Do you want to give you just some absolute cheesy, corny, just stupid old captain?
Don't fish.
No. I've done the same thing, and just it's entertainment. We're in the entertainment business. So
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I've been like, oh, look, there's a bald eagle. And they look. And when they look, I set the hook as hard as I can and put it in free spool. And then I look at the guy with like a straight face.
I know. You
And
said
I
you
say,
wish
hey,
that
man,
was the situation.
you've been
huh?
fishing a long time. Let me check your bait. Hold my rod.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll, this is corny. I mean,
Yeah.
this is like clown corny.
Sure.
And
If I could get Ron to do that.
and I
He won't do it. He rolled it every time.
Oh.
and I reel theirs in, and their bait's perfect. And I'm like, oh, your bait looks wounded. I'm going to change it out.
Hey, why don't you reel that? Why don't you reel that one up? And check
30
that one
seconds
for us?
later,
Yeah.
he's like, I got a bite.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like,
No,
perfect.
no.
That's stupid luck because I didn't have a bite, but you did. I said, let him eat it. Dude, this fish has been on there for 6 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
And
man.
I can tell you
That's the
because
irritating
I'm
part.
praying it's a big fish because, like, you're not finding the hook. The hook is, like,
It's
closer
digested.
to the end than
Yes.
the beginning.
Yes. Yeah.
And he's like, I've got him.
No.
I've got him. Oh, my God.
I agree.
Oh,
And-
my
and
God.
I
And
have-
the thing is like, that poor fish might as well be a stingray. He's been sitting on the bottom trying to figure out how this pain in his throat hurts. And my customer looks at me with the straightest face ever and goes, I can't believe my luck. Like, as soon as
Yeah,
I grabbed
yeah.
your rod, like, how great it is.
No,
He says
and
these clients weren't they weren't going for that one, were they?
I've played that game.
Okay.
This was not the group. And on top of it, like I said, it was an artificial bite at my feet. It was not
Yeah.
with a live bait. If I feel a good thump,
Artificial's a whole
I
different
will,
game.
I will give it line, and I'll say, "Hey guys,
All right. What are
somebody
some,
come take this rod."
what
But
are, what are some of the other worst things about the quote unquote experienced guys that we get on there? Like we've already talked about, we try to tell them, don't snatch the hook out of their brains.
yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
let them eat. What are some of the other bad
My
habits that we see all the time?
My biggest challenges with experienced guys is just trying not to become negative. You know, because if they have a tendency to set the hook fast and they do this, like
Yeah.
making it
Are
a
you
joke,
talking about you getting negative with them? Or
Me getting negative.
with them?
because
Frustrated?
like you start fun.
Yeah.
Hey man, you know I'm super corny. I'm corny as
All
I
right,
come.
Bill Dance. Don't have to. You don't.
Correct.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I'm like, look, Bill Dance.
Look.
If you don't slow down, you're not going to catch anything. And then they're like, all right, you know.
Yeah.
And then you just, it's corny. It's
Yeah.
a fun
About
game.
the fifth time, you're like, please stop jerking the rod.
yeah.
But at some point, you're like, okay, like I've taken a shot at you. We've laughed on your behalf. And then at some point, it's like, dude,
Come on.
stop.
You're missing fish.
You are on a hot
Yes.
bite. You're missing it. And then, like, when they come over to you and they're just like, am I screwing this up?
Oh,
And you're
see.
just like,
See, I
Jesus.
downplay, and I'll tell you one thing, especially when
Please
it comes to
don't ask me
inexperienced ones,
questions.
I will keep on going. See, even on the ride home, I was like, man, we could have had a lot of fish today. But you know what I mean? Like, whew,
Yeah,
I wonder how
yeah,
many we
yeah.
missed, you know? You know, it's like, you mess around with them. It'd still be joshing and funny. And hopefully that if they do, when they do come back, you know, they listen a little bit
Right,
next time.
right,
Well, I
right.
mean, is there any hook sets?
I've had some guys that show up. Hey man, I'm super experienced. Okay, all right, and this happened with a well-known public figure
Okay.
from an
Florida?
area that I grew up in.
Yeah. Okay.
Call on me.
Do what?
Is this like Jeopardy?
No,
Okay, I
we're
was gonna
keeping
say
this.
who it is, but I
We're
can't
we're
say.
keeping this hush.
little-
He shows up. We go to fish, and he's like, man, yeah, I've fished here. I've caught this. I've caught that. And I was like, man, that's awesome. Like, I'm happy for you. That you've gotten to travel and fish, but this is going to be a little different. Like, this is slow or
Yeah.
flounder fishing.
Yep.
You've got to work at this. And we get to the first spot. We take, I don't know, maybe 5 casts and hadn't caught a fish. And he said, hey, man, I think it's time to move. And I was like, I thought he was joking. And I was like, buddy, we just got here. Like, you know.
Gotta be patient, man.
And I kind of brushed it off. And we take a couple more casts and hadn't got a bite yet. And maybe 10 minutes has passed.
I
And
know
he's
where
like,
you're- I
hey,
know where
man.
you're getting at with this. Yeah, that's definitely one where the quote unquote experience is like, hey, shouldn't we be doing this? Or hey, shouldn't we
Yeah.
be doing that? Or when they start trying to give you, like,
Yeah.
tell
Yeah.
you what,
Yeah.
what.
The charters that have been with you enough, they're like, that's the only frustrating part I get with charters. It's like,
Yeah, when they start trying to tell you how to run the boat.
yeah, like
Yeah.
guys that's been with me for like 10 years.
Yeah.
And the thing is I enjoy explaining, you know, that we call this the certain hole. We call this that.
Yeah.
And then they learn the terminology, and then they get on the boat, and it's like, when you got NFL teams who are worth billions of dollars who are playing on Sunday to try to go to the Super Bowl, and yet you can't even coach your kid's football team, but yet you could stay on your living room couch and scream at the TV. Why didn't you run the ball?
Right.
Exactly.
Why didn't you become a
armchair captain.
Captain. And these guys get on the boat and they're like, hey, I want to go to the J-hole.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Well,
it's dead high tide on the northeast wind.
Wind's not right.
Caught fish in that,
But you know what I mean? I've got guys that 7-8 years has been with me, and he's like, last year we went to the cabana and
it's
we
a whole
just
different year,
waxed
buddy.
them.
Yeah.
And then,
that's probably the
And
worst.
they're not going to be happy until you take them there.
And that's the problem.
Yeah.
I take them to the spot that they call, and then I become a puppet to their game. And then when we strike out, they get to the dock, and I'm like, well, we had a good time a couple years ago. We struck out. I just want to look at them and be like, everything I had planned, you altered.
You vetoed.
And maybe it's my fault because I shouldn't change my game plan based on what you want, but it's
That's
hard.
Tough. That's tough when you're trying to make sure the customer is happy. I mean, you can't look them dead in the face and be like, no, we're not going there.
Yeah.
Then you're off to a bad stigma.
So that's, I definitely think that here is the game of pros and cons versus your experienced clients, because they have this history of knowing, well, man, we did good here.
We did this there.
Blah, blah, blah. They don't know the conditions. They don't know you're sitting there looking at wind, temperature,
or
moon
what you
phase.
caught last week, or where the bait's at. Or that kind of stuff, so.
And that is a stigma to the experienced clients. But touching back on what we've talked about, that same, if you have the right experienced client, that's like, hey man,
well, it pushes
we got faith in you.
It pushes you to be better and stay on edge on your game for those clients that shoot for the PBs, but then we still get to enjoy those that haven't done this before and get to experience, teaching all over again.
Yeah.
So I'm glad and I'm happy that we have a good mix of both, and I'm sure we all have
Absolutely.
we have our own, clients that come to us over and over again, but I love the influx of new people, especially the kids when it comes to teaching them, like, hey, fishing's awesome. Let's turn you from the inexperienced to the experience,
right.
so then you can come back and we can work on PBs.
And I'll touch on that, obviously, Robert. I'll lean to you. Once you've had children,
oh yeah,
the encouragement
the patience,
to show a kid
the patience.
Something.
Yeah.
Well, it's the patience, but
yeah, and I see this with some captains versus other captains. I guess before I had kids, I loved having kids on the boat. Maybe that makes me why I wanted to have kids in ways. But no, I know where you're going with this as far as how that goes with the.
But as a father,
it
like,
makes it
and
that
Jack
much,
can chime in on
that
this.
much
I mean,
more
as a
valuable.
father, like, once you've had a kid, and you get another kid on the boat, and his dad's like, I've never fished, I have no clue what I'm doing, and you're kind of like,
you get to fill that.
You get to fill that void.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, if I can get him a couple good fish,
Game over.
That's it.
Day is made.
And I'll be honest, I've been doing this a long time, and I'm not here to.
It's still good every single.
I have gotten. I will tell you a quick story, and it's just a selfish story. But I got a text this week, and I have a client. I took their 6-year-old child out fishing. Look at all the big fillets of mahi going by.
We got for those listening. We got dolphin are running right
Look
now.
at that. Mahi. But back to the story. I mean, just a simple, cheesy, I've been doing this a long time. Guy texts me and goes, we had the best fishing experience ever. My 6-year-old child caught, 2 or 3 of his first ever fish. The picture we took at the dock, we don't know the influence that we have of people. You have no idea. They took a picture, went to Michael's, I think they told me. They blew it up. This picture has been sitting over their fireplace for 13 years.
And it's got you in it.
I'm not in it.
Oh, no?
No, this is just
just
the family.
their family fishing picture. But that's something that you created for them.
There's no logo in it. There's no branding.
Yeah.
All they know.
Now,
He sent me a text this week and goes, here's my son, 20 years old, in college, Dude's like 6'3". I'm like, don't put him on the boat because I'm going to look like a midget. The text said, we've been staring at the same photo for 13 years. We're coming back to Myrtle Beach in July. We need a new photo. Are you in?
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's like 13 years.
Yeah. I was humbled by that one not too long ago.
But you know what I mean? Like that's the thing.
Taking the picture with the captain.
Yeah.
The 6 years versus the first year. Oh yeah, that's cool. So
Yeah.
Each one has its ups and downs.
Absolutely.
Experience versus inexperienced.
Correct.
Yeah. And I guess every day can be a new experience.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, experienced, inexperienced, I think we all can agree that the goal is to make the client happy.
That's it.
Or go down swinging. And if
Kale
they see you
says,
try, whether you win or not, they see you try.
Give 110%.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what separates. You know, I consider myself a good captain, not a great captain, but that is what you see.
Mm-hmm.
Time tells the people who care.
Yeah.
And I'm not bashing anybody, but there's captains out there. They've got their license. They could care less.
Yeah.
They're out there to earn a paycheck.
And go home.
This is my living.
Yeah.
Like the guys that care, you may win, lose, or draw, but
They're the ones that last.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
short films run out. You know,
Yeah.
legends live forever.
Well,
So,
if you take two sides, you take two sides of that coin too. You know, if those that appreciate that, experience that they can give, and they give a good experience, will continue their legacy because they enjoy what they do.
Right.
And that's why I enjoy what I do.
Right.
Very, very much. So,
Because
I've said it for years. I said the day I wake up and regret going to work, I'll quit because there's 40,000 other ways I can make money. My wife sure as hell thinks that I can make a lot more money doing other things, and she expects $1 million house on a flounder budget. But I will be the first one to tell you, if you don't enjoy what you're doing, you're wasting your own life.
Yeah.
thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. If you're in the Murrells Inlet or Myrtle Beach area, come check us out live. And if you're looking to get on the water, check out our sponsors that help support this channel. Link in the description below. Thanks for watching, tight lines, and we'll see you on the water.